Here's a good question. Somebody said, "What's the most important?" They said, "What's the most important degree or certification to become a network engineer?" I will tell you that, in my opinion. Now, I am not a network engineer, but I have a friend. I used to be a network engineer. I was a network engineer for a few years. I got a little bit of experience on it, but a couple of my friends have been doing it for a long time. And yeah, so I can talk to you a little bit about that network engineering. So, network engineering is a person who installs, sets up, configures, maintains, creates new network routes, backs up network routers. They mainly work with internet working devices. That means a device that assists with packets going to and from a network. They work on LANs, WANs, they work on voice over IP, and they can also do virtual networks, VPNs. That's their world. So that's a network engineer. And the top certifications to get, the most marketable in the United States. Now in China is different, and probably UK is different, but in the United States, it's going to be Cisco. Most Fortune 1000, Fortune 100, Fortune whatever are on Cisco devices. And as a matter of fact, here's what I'll do. Let me show you what I mean. So if we go to Gartner, so Gartner is it's a organization who every year they look at the top brands in the market. And so they have something called Gartner Magic Quadrant. And let me show you what it looks like. It looks like this. This is the Gartner Magic Quadrant, and it breaks out. See, it has like this little matrix that shows you who are the top leaders, who are the visionaries, and in any kind of field you can imagine, they break all of this stuff down. And they have one for networking, they have one for any kind of device you could think of, firewalls, they have one for. So let's look at the network switches. Let's look at just network switches. And they do this every year. So this one's coming from 2020. So that's good enough. So what we're looking at here is the Magic Quadrant for wired and wireless LAN local area network devices, access local area network access infrastructure, that's switches and switch-like products over in 2020. Let's take a look at that. So on the top, in this top, the leaders are Juniper, HPE Aruba, Cisco, and Extreme Networks. And then below them, just below them, is Huawei, Fortinet. And Huawei would probably be up here if they hadn't gotten banned. But I don't know if you guys heard about that, but Huawei got banned by Canada, the US. The US is a huge market, so that was a huge loss for them. And I don't know what the deal with that was. The US was saying that they have spyware in their network devices. Who knows? Like they're doing some kind of huge battle for 5G or something. I don't know what's going on. It's very political and very shady. The whole thing is very shady. I don't know what is real with that whole talk. I have no idea, but Huawei would have been for sure up here with Cisco had the US government in Canada not nuked them by getting them out the market. Like they've banned them from their countries. And I think it might have something to do with all the China steals a lot of IP. They steal a lot of people's ideas and then they make it as their own. And then they'll take a brand like they did this to Cisco. And I think Huawei might even be a derivative of Cisco. I don't know, but they did it to Google. They do it to a lot of the products from the Department of Defense. They'll steal the information and then they'll take $1 billion worth of research. And I'm not making this up. This is real. This has happened many times. Anyway, so the biggest winners here are Cisco, Juniper, HPE, and Networks, Extreme Networks. So whenever you're trying to go for a certification, it's going to be one of these because these are the guys who have most of the products out there. So let me show you the routers. Let's look at the routers. Looked at switches from 2020. Now let's look at routers. So switches are for local area networks. They make the packets go between networks, like within your company, within your company's, say, building. So they're responsible for like VLANs, and they'll do wireless, and they'll do things like that locally. But routers do things externally and internally. So they're bringing data in and taking it out. So they have to have what's called routing protocols to do that. There's a whole different algorithm that's used to send data in and out of your network, and a whole different mindset that's needed for products. So let's look at routers. We're looking at WAN edge infrastructure, and this is the Gartner Magic Quadrant from 2021, and it's for WAN edge infrastructure. And at the very top, you've got VMware. And this, I believe this is because VMware is being used a lot for virtual networking. Virtual networking has gotten really big. And so now VMware is on the top. You got Fortinet up here. You've got Versa Networks. You've got Palo Alto. Man, Palo Alto's coming out really strong because their firewalls are being used heavily in the government right now. And then, of course, Cisco. Cisco has been like a mainstay. So Cisco certifications are one of the top certifications that you can get for networking, period. VMware is really up there as well. And Smooth Virus just says, we use VMware heavily. Yes, VMware is used a lot. So yeah, networking, network routers. Let me see if I can find another network infrastructure tool. Actually, it's showing me a couple here: network switches, network security, network monitoring, firewalls. Let's look at firewalls. That's the edge device. Palo Alto, look at that. Palo Alto. So on firewalls, top leaders Palo Alto, Fortinet, and then Checkpoint. And then Cisco's up there, but just it's not too far behind, but fell off a little bit because they used to be one of the top firewall people. Let me see. Let's look at another infrastructure, network infrastructure. Let's see. I know that Cisco also has, so Cisco, you'll find Cisco is in strong in almost every networking internetworking device. They might not be number one, but they rank in almost all of these things that we're seeing here on the screen. We're seeing switches, network security, network monitoring, network as a whole, network detection and response. Let's look at that one. I might be wrong about this one. Let me see. Nope, Cisco's still in one of the top. They're one of the main challengers, but once again, it's Palo Alto, Fortinet, and I think that's firewalls again. So yeah, Cisco. Let me also show you a little bit more about Cisco. Somebody said, Mike, Mike said, I'm improving my skills with IP tables and Palo Alto. That's awesome. Put that on your resume for sure in your skills column. Okay, let me show you something else here. Cisco. I'll show you something that'll blow your mind. Cisco top. Oh, how about this? Top network certifications 2022. Watch this. You got CompTIA, Cisco, SolarWinds, Cisco, Wireshark, VMware. That's about right. Best networking certifications for 2022. Yeah, here you go right here. Cisco CIE, top of the, not many people have this one. I shouldn't even list that. That's like an expert level certifications that very few people get. But then you got CompTIA Network Plus, which is a pretty weak certification overall. B Plus is awesome. CCNA is one of the most elite top ones that you can get. It's really good. CCNP is very difficult, but one of the top ones you can get. And you've got Juniper on here. This is a Juniper one right here at the bottom of this list. I don't know why they have an A plus there, but I guess it has some networking elements in it. And then you got cloud. Look at how many cloud ones you have. You got a few cloud ones on here. That's interesting. Wow. So yeah, let me look at another one. Let's validate the top networking certifications. Go CCNA, CCNP. You just see Cisco keep popping up. So Cisco is one of the top certifications you can get. Now, as far as the degree, the networking jobs, a lot of times they're really looking for somebody who can do networking. And MP is better than a lot of degrees. I'm just being perfectly honest with you. CCNP, let me put it to you like this. An organization will take a CCNP before they take a guy who has a bachelor's degree in networking. It sounds crazy, but a CCNP is superior to a person with a master's degree in if you're looking for a network engineer. If they want a network engineer and both of them have 5 years of experience, but one guy has a master's degree and has done 5 years of networking, another guy has 5 years of networking, but he has a CCNP, they're going to take the CCNP first over a master's degree guy. Please, if you disagree, please chime in, tell and explain to me who they take over a CCNP. There's not many people. They take a CIE over a CCNP, probably, but there's not many people they're going to take over a CCNP. I tell you that right now. CCNP is top of the food chain. CIE is it's not even in our galaxy. These people they're so rare. They're very expensive. They don't exist. They're unicorns. They're a mythical creature. Okay, so just CCIEs don't exist. Just get it out of your mind. It's not real. I strongly agree. Somebody on, yeah, I strongly agree. Okay, yeah, there you go, man. CCNP is no joke. It's no joke. Let me show you the hierarchy of networking certifications. Let's see, Cisco. What we'll do is type Cisco network certifications. Watch this. Let me show you what I mean by CCIEs don't exist. So this right here, this little diagram right here, at the very bottom, you have CCENTs. This is Cisco Certified Entry Networking Technician. So when I first got into this field, I had a CCNA. CCNA was at the time the most difficult test I'd ever taken. They've since changed it. It's way harder. I tried to go back and take it and I failed it. I failed it, man. So now this stuff is way harder than it used to be. ENT, ENA, and then CCNP. CCNP is like, I think it's 3 different certifications and it's hella hard. And CIE is impossible. It's just impossible. And then I don't even know what this is. Cisco Certified Architect. I have no idea what this is. No idea. I've seen CCIEs before, like in the mist. Like they would appear they'd appear magically before my eyes and then they disappear. They're like magicians. I've seen one or two. I've seen 2 CCIAs in my entire life.